Well, hey there, my friends. Welcome to my channel, Ink and Whimsy. I'm Laura Daniels, and I'm glad we're going to spend a little bit of time together today. I'm going to be scrapbooking an adventure my mom and I went on when we went to visit my sister Lorraine in Washington State. And I'll be using the Woodland Explorer, Not Just for Boys kit club, and it is the April kit. These are several pieces of the cardstock that come in the kit. And one of the things I love about the kit that Meredith and Paula put together each month is that it's a conglomeration of cardstock sheets from different companies. So it's always a fun adventure just seeing what Meredith pulls together and what we're going to be working with. This is going to be a double page spread. One of the things I needed to really work with on this double page spread is that the left side, which I'm going to be showing you, is Mom and I, when we went out to brunch before we went on our walk exploring this little town. The second page, page B, has us outdoors. So the colors are a little different, but I think I was able to bring it together, and I'm kind of excited to show it to you. So I took a picture of my plate. This is my mom, Shirley, and then I already have my journaling ready. And these are some of the ephemera pieces I'm going to be using from the kit. This is actually cut from a larger piece of cardstock. They look like old license plates, actually, and signs. And then it came with this package of frames, which are absolutely wonderful. So we're going to be using this set and a ticket stub. And then I have another frame I'm going to use on another section of the layout. I love these little ticket stubs. This was pulled out of my personal stash because I needed to bring in the red. You'll notice my mom has a red type maroon jacket on. And whatever I put on the right side, I want to put on the left side. So I needed a little bit of red. Here's some more of the frames. And then these two die cut pieces are using the Latte Love. If you've seen some of my previous videos, I loved this suite by Stampin' Up. And this is the stamp set that comes with it with die cuts to actually cut out these pieces. I don't believe this is available any longer, but anything that had to do with coffee, I tend to buy it right up. And also with the Not Just for Boys Kit Club, in their shop, they have cutouts that you can purchase. So that if you don't have a Cricut or can't think of what the other machine's called, if you don't have either of those, you can buy the diagrams or the words already pre-cut, and they'll ship it as an add-on to your kit, which is pretty awesome. So these are the colors we're going to be working with. I am going to move these bottom sheets out of the way. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of the different colors and pieces of cardstock that came in the kit. And we're going to get started assembling the first page. And then what we'll do is we do a fun reveal, and I'll have both pages side by side, A and B, and I will read you the journaling, because a lot of people have said they really enjoy hearing the story, and it also gives you an idea of what you could put in your own journaling when you're doing a single or a double page spread. All right, so then the first thing I wanted to show you was that I gutted this beautiful piece of cardstock. So the flip side of these gears was, they look like little lightning bolts, but I needed this blue color. So when you're going to gut a piece of paper, it's real easy. You see how this pulls out to 12, right? So you would line up your 12-inch piece of cardstock, and you'd start the cut at 1 inch down. You'd go all the way down to the 1 inch at the bottom, from the bottom, flip the page and do 1 inch, flip it 1 inch. Now you could do a 1/2 inch if you want, but once you keep turning your square and going to the 1 inch or the 1/2 inch mark around, the middle section of the page comes out, which is awesome. All right, so let's get started with what we're going to do here. The first thing I want to do is to take this piece of cardstock. This is the flip side. I love the grungy look of it. What I wanted to bring out, if you notice, see the backdrop here? It's all very, looks like rustic cement, and there's some old photos up here. I wanted to bring that out, and look how beautifully this matches. So I was real excited to use that with this kit. So let's put down the back first. And you can see where I tore. Now, you know how I am. I am gonna, if I don't pay attention to what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mess this up sooner than I can do anything else. So we want this about at the 10, just below it. Because remember, I've already done page B. And then we're going to put this over the top here. So I need to lay this down first. Okay. I'm going to try not to put this down. That way I can lift it up and show it to you. So I want this just below the 10, about right there. And I'm going to tear this a bit, but I want it where it needs to be before I start tearing it. So that's, there is a method to my madness. Have any of you ever been to Washington State? And if you have been, what's one of your favorite places to visit? I mean, that part of the country really is stunning. It's beautiful. I couldn't live there because they tend to get so much rain, but the joy of just going to see my sister and her and Mom and I going on an adventure together makes it so much fun. All right. This is for the other photo, but here I wanted to take Distressed Oxide Stormy Sky, and I have already put the foam circle on the back, and normally it's stuck right here to this Velcro dot, and I am going to go around the edges of this piece of blue, and the opposite side of this is stars, and this is one of the pieces of cardstock in the kit, and I just really thought this made it pop when it was up against the second piece of cardstock that I'm going to put it on. And I did matte all of my photos on white because I really think that makes the photos pop also. We're just all about popping the photos. All right, so let's take this. Mom has such a beautiful smile. Usually she watches all my videos, so you'll see her in the comments. There's nothing like your mom leaving you a message saying she's proud of you and she likes what you did. And what's fun is that Mom, usually her or someone in our family, is in my scrapbook spread. So, you know, she's on her own now and she gets to just have the fun of watching a video and hearing a story of what we have been up to, either together or me on my own. I'm just kind of roughing up the edges because I really wanted the grunge look for all of this. All right, so now we're gonna set this on. And before I attach this, I want to do a coffee splatter up here. And remember the stamp set I had just shown you? It has this coffee splatter right here. So I am going to use a Stampin' Up color, and this is called Pecan Pie. And I'm going to put a little bit of it. I shouldn't say this, but have you noticed I haven't had to unglue something yet? Hold it down good. And then I want another one about right here. And then we're going to put one, I want this about right here. Well, that's just totally covered, isn't it? We're going to move it over here. Oh, that looks better. And then I want one about, now this may get covered down here. Woo, that could have been bad right there. It may get covered, but we will go with the flow. I'm just proud of myself that I'm actually getting my stamping done before I attach everything. All right, so now we're going to set this down. All right, and I lifted. Did I actually put, well, it'd be good if I actually put tape on the back. Y'all are probably watching the video going, Laura, you didn't put any tape runner on the back, girl. All right, here we go. About right there looks good. I'm trying to be slow as I'm attaching this stuff, so I'm not shaking the table on all of you. All right, so I am not going to do anything to this because I like the white, but what I want to do is to put some tears in the paper. And I can see looking at this that I want something up here and a tear down here. So this should be interesting. Maybe I should have torn ahead of time. Oh no, I can still do it. Okay, we're good. Okay, right there. And then I want this one up here. And when you, if you're tearing cardstock, you want to tear it towards you if you want the white core. So since I want the white core, I'm going to tear it a bit right here. And this isn't going to be as big. And obviously, I did tearing on the other page. So that's why we're doing this right here. Okay, now I have some scrap paper that I am going to put underneath here. So I'm going to cut this in half. And this is that cardstock that had the stars on the back. All right, so let's stick this underneath. We're going to line it up carefully. Oh, look at that. Nope, not quite. Oh my gosh. There we go. You know what I should have used was that glue, because there is forgiveness with the glue and you can move things around. So Laura's going to learn from her mistakes and put the glue on here, because then I can kind of shimmy and jimmy. Okay, all right, so let's put this piece under here. Lift this up. We're going to go right here. Now, what I could have done was had this all attached before I even did the video, but I know y'all just love seeing me do things on the fly and not necessarily do things perfectly, because it is not, make sure I'm doing this on the right side. We're supposed to be able to work around our mistakes, you know, because when you do make a mistake, you either change the cardstock, you flip over the white piece, or you restamp it, or you change your design a little bit, because it should be fun. We don't want this to be stressful. And if I'm filming and it starts to be unfun, I won't keep filming. So, all right. Now, I don't want to move this around too much. I'm going to put it right there. Life is good. Life's good with my mom. Love spending time with her. All right, now I have the second photo, so I want to get this down, and I'm going to do the same thing here. Then I'm going to go around the edges of this. Let me cap this and turn it upside down so when I do need to get some from it. Now I'm going to use the frames here a little differently. They're not going to be framing a photo. I'm just using them as some ephemera in a cluster. And on another video I am filming for you later, it's going to have some of the Winnie the Pooh characters coming out of the frame. And I have to say, it really looked good. All right, so let's attach. Do you guys ever take photos of your food? I do, because I don't know, that's part of the moment, and the memory is what we were eating. And I remember my mom and I were just so excited about, I think we split the blueberry muffin, and then we both got one of these, oh, it's delicious, ham and egg sandwich. Real good. All right, so there we go. And this is going to go here. And I want to come down a little bit, I think. Well, what do I want to do here? Because this is going to go underneath. See this envelope? But I needed to bring out this orange. Not really an orange, but I'm going to stick this right here. So it's going to come up a bit. I want that, oh, right there, right there. So since I know where it's going, I can put that down. My husband is outside building a chicken coop. I said, babe, I'm going to be filming. I'm on Do Not Disturb. I said, I can't help you. I'm probably going to go out after this and help him with a painting. Like I'll paint the door to the chicken coop. That's what I'll do. Is that even? Yep. That looks good. Okay, that kind of blends in, but that's okay with me. I'm good. I'm good. All right, let's add a little more. And this is the first half of the journaling. Sometimes what I'll do with a 2-page spread, I just looked up to make sure I'd been recording. That would have been a bad day. But what I was saying is I divided up the journaling. So half of the journaling is on this side of the page. And then on the other page, I have the second half of the journaling. And I did a really neat flip up. So I'm excited to show that to you on the second page. All right, so this is going to go on the bottom. On the bottom, we're going to put it right here. Okay. I'm not going to stick that down real hard. Now, we have this little cluster here, which I'm going to use to put down here. Now, on this coffee cup, it's 2 different stamps. You have the coffee cup, and then you have the actual coffee inside the cup. And I wanted this to be elevated a bit, to have some dimension. So that's going on last. But what we need to do here, and I know I'm going to need this to make sure I can stick this under here. One other option is to cut this in half if you're running out of flowers. So I'm going to do that just to make life. No, you know why? Because some's coming down. No, I can still do it. Gosh, don't you just love my indecision? All right, because we may use that. So here we go. So we're going to put this right here. I would like to see a little bit of the coffee, the brown. There we go. I like it. I like it. I want to put this one down next. The frame. This is what I wanted to do with the frame. I've seen other people do these on their videos. It's hard for me to think out of the box. And when I see a frame, it's supposed to be framing something, right? So I had a hard time thinking of using it in any other way than as a frame for a photo. But my world was opened when someone shared this in their video. And I know Merity's done it a few times too, which is kind of cool. All right, I almost dropped it. I'm gonna lift this up and slide this under. And I want it on both parts. So it has this torn part in here, which I think is kind of cool. Adds dimension. All right, now we're gonna take, let's put these over. My hands are all sticky now. Jeez. All right, so this is gonna go on the bottom. This is that little piece of red that I said I needed. I think that's straight now. I had unstraightened it when I was moving things around. Let's put that right there. Boy, it's hard to see if I have it straight when I'm standing. Oh, here's a secret you may not know. I stand when I film my videos. If I were to be seated, things would definitely all be crooked. And I wouldn't be able to see as well either. So I'm curious as to how many of you, if you film videos, how many of you actually stand when you're filming the video? That's kind of cool, actually. It's kind of a neat question, I thought. All right, so this is extra. But I have this flower right here that I want to bring a pop. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to stick this on here, and if I want to keep the bee. I want it kind of going over, because that's a trash can. Hello? We don't need the trash can, do we? All right. So let's put this up here. Still has to be a part of the flower. That looks good. I like it. All right, now this coffee mug is going to go on the bottom. And see, this is a very open part of the table. There's nothing wrong with covering up some of this. Like, what is this little white piece here? That could be a piece of a napkin. We certainly don't need that. And I think I'm going to come down to about right there. And now we're going to put this piece of coffee ephemera that I created, and I've given it some dimension by putting those on the back. We're going to put this right here. All right, there we go. And now we have some more flowers that we could use. Let's see. Or do I want to bring this red down here? Oh, it's so hard sometimes picking things up. Actually, I'm going to do, hold on. I'm going to do some surgery, okay? Because I want all these colors down here. I'm going to stick this. Hold on. Whoa, Nelly. Right. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, I see. My fingernails can barely pick the stuff up. It's driving me crazy. Okay, here we go. I gotta make sure when it lays down, it's not covering that. And let's put this piece of red. Then we have to do this up here, and then we're gonna be at the point where I can show you the second page, which I think you're gonna love it. It tells the story beautifully. All right, so let's set up this side. So I want to put this piece down first. And this is going to go, here, let's lift this up a bit. Stick in. It's hard doing this upside down for anyone that's wondering. Okay, let's turn it. Let's make my life a little easier. What I should have done in hindsight, okay, was attach this, but I should have attached this to this, not to the back. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so we're just going to cut this, and I'll be able to use it on another spread. So this one's going to go here. I'm not going to tack it down too hard because I want to put some flowers underneath it. So we're going to put this under here. And you see how this brings out the color in this. And this is what I'm talking about when Meredy puts a kit together. This is Simple Stories. And then some of this is Cartabella. Some of it is Echo Park. I can't even name them all. It's a lot of pieces from different kits. So it's kind of fun. I want to put that. I want it coming up past the frame a little bit. And let's straighten that. Okay, and now we're going to put the frame down because I'm going to put some things over the top of the frame. And again, I use these frames on the other page that you'll see in just a moment. So this is going to go here, and I may have messed up again. See? Oh my goodness. But you know, this is good because I'll be able to use this half, right? All right, here we go. We're going to put this right here. You see how you can always make things work? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Now this. I'm probably going to have to cut this too. Might as well just cut it right now so y'all don't have to see that I messed up again. I was doing so well. Life can't be that easy. Yeah, I do want this. And I want it a little shorter because I want to see the top of that frame. Okay. The point is the frame. All right, but it needs to be higher than that one. All right, we've got one more thing to add, and then y'all know how I do this. I pause the camera, I get both pages set up next to each other, and then I come back, and as you're looking at the double page spread, I'll read the journaling, and then I'll take a moment and go over the different techniques and different things that I did on the second page, which I'm excited for you to see the flip photo that I made. All right, so don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Alrighty, my friends, you ready for the big reveal? Before I go any further, I want to show you a sheet of paper that has both kits on it. This is called the Woodland Explorer, and this is the Limitless kit, and then there's the Essentials kit. Now, when I'm filming and I'm creating, because I'm on the design team, I use both kits. Plus, I do the add-on paper pack, which is a whole nother set of these pages. All right, so you ready to see the double page spread? And then I'll read the journaling and share some tips on what I did with page B. Don't you love it? I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so while you're looking, let me read the journaling real quick. One of Mom and I's favorite things to do is to go out to breakfast and explore some cute little town. This morning found us in Steilacoom, Washington, nestled along the shores of Puget Sound, a quaint little town that holds the distinction of being the oldest incorporated town in Washington state, dating way back to 1854. Walking through the streets feels like you're stepping back in time. We love beginning those mornings choosing a small cafe or a family-owned diner that feels warm and welcoming. The smell of fresh coffee and the sizzling bacon, girl, that's always what pulls us in. Setting things up for a perfect start to our morning. Truly, coffee and breakfast is as much a part of the adventure as exploring the town. So that's why I took a picture of our plate. After a yummy breakfast, we set off to explore the town. Here's where I have the second half of the journaling. We love wandering the streets, laughing, talking, and people watching, and we often find delightful surprises, hidden nooks, and lots of warm, friendly people. This day was cool, sunny, and absolutely beautiful. The water off Puget Sound was a vibrant blue, and the cafe where we ate was just so quaint and friendly. As we strolled the neighborhood streets, we both said if we had the money, which we didn't, we'd buy a home, which we didn't. So we would love to live there if we could, but we can't. The entire morning is always such a celebration of the simple things that Mom and I love to do together, and those become the best memories that we share. I love you, Mom. So let me share a couple things I did here. See how I divided the journaling? I did some of the same tears on this side, so I brought the blue over here, and then this is a piece of ephemera that comes in the kit, so I tore along there also because I really wanted the rustic look. I brought the coffee cups over here. I brought the red because there's red in her jacket, and I wanted to share with you what I did with this right here. This was a 5x7. And, you know, I didn't know which one I was going to want to use, but there were so many photos I wanted to bring out in this spread. So on the 5x7, I cut 2 3x4s. And you can see when I laid them down on the scrapbook spread, they're both looking in. And this is just an example of where we were walking the streets in this town after we had our delicious breakfast. And there were other photos I wanted to share. Now you can see this is a totally different color scheme with the bright blue sky, and here I continued over with the inside of the breakfast, the coffee shop. So I tried to find the photo that was least bright, and I put the water underneath because here we were walking along the water. And this is a flip I made. So first you have your bottom photo and it's matted, and then you take a piece of cardstock, or you can use a tag, and you're just going to fold it in half like this, okay? You're going to put glue on the bottom, and you're going to stick it behind the photo that you're sticking to your paper, right? So this is back under there, okay? And then you're going to take your photo that you want to flip up, and you're going to lay it down, and you'll put glue on this side. You'll glue that down. And then you take the next photo, you put glue there, and you lay that there. So what you have then is a flip. Isn't that the neatest thing? And look how beautiful the sky was. It was just one of those picture perfect days. And I'm so glad Mom and I had this time together to go out for breakfast, people watching, all that fun stuff. And then I put a tab on the side. And then here, this is from the chipboard kit. What do you call it? A chipboard that you get in the kit, and it comes in the essentials kit. Chipboard words and phrases. Why? Sometimes I just stumble over things. I don't know how I've learned to talk. All right, my friends, that is it. I hope you had a great time. Thanks for hanging around. Be sure in the comments below, share with me if you've ever been to Washington State, and if one of your favorite things to do is to go out for breakfast and a cup of coffee and then explore a quaint little town. Y'all take care. Always love spending time with you. And until next time, God bless. Bye-bye.